Hey, welcome back. We're going to do a quick video here to show you how to enable some features for host maintenance and health for host pools in Fabrics. So the first thing you're going to do is go to your companies and pick a test company or whichever company you would like to target. Go to the Assets tab, and then we're going to open our host pool properties. And so here's all of our features, and what we're going to talk about mainly is some health and management features. So the first one we're going to look at is host maintenance, and there's two main features here that we want to talk about. This one will enable the day selection, so you can have Fabrics automatically force Windows Update runs, and it will also then do any reboot it's need done during the shutdown period of the day for the host pools operating. So say you wanted to run it only on Friday night and Sunday night over the weekends, you would enable that Windows Update flag and pick the days you want, or say it's Friday and Saturday and not Sunday. And then domain removal is hosts are added to the domain when they're created, but there are different types of policies based on how much hardening has been done in the domain that may cause the creation of a host to fail with the same name if it's not removed from the domain when it's deleted. So this feature will effectively run a command every time a host is deleted to remove that host from the domain. So that's how you can enable domain removal, which keeps your domain clean for host names based on scaling, because as scaling happens, hosts are created and deleted. You want to make sure you keep the domain clean. And then the Windows Updates allows you to target Windows Updates if you would like Fabrics to take care of that for you. And then the second one we're going to talk about is unhealthy host management. It's going to ask us here if we want to save those changes. We're going to say yes. And there are two types of unhealthy host management. Status is based on the running, not running, base host pool status, like if it's available in the host pool. Host pool statistics are more whether the domain is valid, if it fell out of the domain for some reason, or the status gets hung in the host pool. So these are kind of a lower tier of health redeployment and a more particular tier of health redeployment. And there's some information that describes what that does. Unhealthy hosts is more common than you would think. They get stuck in statuses, so we typically recommend you always enable at least the status level. The more detailed version tends to be whether you would like to do that or not. And then the last part of that we're going to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and click another one, and we're going to save that, is redeployment. And there are two flags here. If you want to enable host pools to redeploy at all, this is kind of part of host pools health or being able to redeployment, you need to enable this flag. If you wanted to redeploy a host pool overnight as part of maintaining it, you can check this, and that's basically telling Fabrics, hey, and there's a description here. I'll say, hey, this tells Fabrics that during the next shutdown time, I want you to redeploy the host pool. But this is kind of the safety plug. So if this is not enabled, then somebody checking this will not work. But similarly, you can redeploy a host pool immediately, and this is not it waits till the middle of the night. As soon as I click this button, it's going to start redeploying the host pool. But if I don't have that flag enabled for host pool redeployment, for instance, there, like that, and I click this button, I'm just going to get an error that says the host pool is not enabled for redeployment. And as you can see, that error comes back and said the host pool is not enabled for redeployment. And this, it's just a safety that makes sure that somebody doesn't mistakenly click this button when you didn't want redeploy to happen. So many times the way that these two flags are used together is to make sure that someone doesn't mistakenly click that button during normal operating, Every time that they come in here to redeploy the host pool, they'll set these two and save them, and this will redeploy overnight, and then the next day Fabrics will automatically clear this one, and a lot of times people will come in then and manually re-clear this one to protect the host pool again from being redeployed. And that's the last of the host pool maintenance and management features for this video.